thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I am so happy to have this space more usable. Look at how great this cabinet looks. I mean, ignore the touch-up paint I have to do there and there, but look at how awesome this is. And I love the little metal detailing here. And the knob I picked out is gorgeous. And I can keep my stuff in there, like snacks. I really wish I could tell you that I got more video of Dad building this cabinet, but I didn't. I got a few shots of him cutting the plywood for this, and then I wandered into my room one day and he had finished it. So this is what you get as far as the cabinet, but we have lots of other projects that we were working on as well. Okay, so next project. We're going to go up there and put these hooks and hang a swag lamp. I just need to figure out how to get these into the ceiling. Well, that's a problem for later. In my defense, I really thought that this was going to be a problem. I thought I was going to have to get the drill out and drill special holes into rafters to get this all to sit. So I went and got my dad, and it turns out all you had to do was stick that screw onto the ceiling and keep twisting it until it sits in there. Really wasn't a problem, and I get this awesome swag lamp. Look at how pretty that light is. Oh, and I put twinkle lights up in the window. Because yes, I'm a zillennial, and that is gorgeous. Room update. I spent far too much time yesterday putting vines all up there in the window. But I think it looks so good. And of course the pennant lamp looks amazing. And it just helped disguise the cord situation over here, so that's always a good thing. I also have vines up over by the doorway now, just to kind of soften that up. I love it. That afternoon, Dad wandered out of the basement with these beautiful railings that he had made for my bed, which we put in those brown beams. You remember those ones that we painted that held the bed in place? Well, we drilled some holes in those and placed the bars inside of that. So Bobo doesn't pull a clumsy German Shepherd in the middle of the night and fall 5 feet out of the air. We love the railing, and plus it's just gorgeous. Look at it. Check out Dad working in a dark corner. Making a shoe rack. Oh, I love those bars.
Yeah, keep it simple. I had an idea last night of putting a slide in here, so it would have wheels up on top, so you'd lift it out here, and the whole thing would ride down.
Oh, wow.
And out here.
Yeah.
And then you would just push it right back up where it belongs and set it down in there.
Well, that sounds awesome, but complicated.
Yeah, more than I want to do right now. But it's something to think about in the future.
Okay. Well, I love that my Doc Martens won't just be all over the bottom of my closet.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully not all around the house either.
Yeah, hopefully not all around the house either.
Check out that shoe storage. That is so cool. There's cowboy boots and everything up there. But all of those aren't on the floor in my closet. My rim boots didn't work in there. But you can actually see floor over there, which is amazing. I'll just stick them in that corner over there. Or on top of the golf shoes I never wear. One of the two. It is day 658 of this room project, and I may or may not be exaggerating. I absolutely am exaggerating, but we're getting to paint the inside of the shoe closet, which Dad has all set up, and I was so happy to be able to have my shoes in there and all organized, but I get to paint it today because we're putting the front of the cabinet on, and we really should do that first. I asked you guys what we should do for the interior, and it basically came down to absolutely do the most complicated one. So I'm going to paint the majority of the cabinet this cream color. You can kind of see it there. I told you it's like an off-white. And then we're going to be painting this part of the cabinet, all of that, this dark brown color that I have on the beams in my room. It's called Tudor Brown. I really love it. And it's going to keep the dirt from showing up. So we're going to get started with that. Yes, us together. Did you know you're going to paint? I have the paintbrush set up right for you. I'm going to be honest. I had no idea when starting this project how much of it was going to just be painting the walls. I repainted walls. I did touch-up paint on spots that I got other paint on. We built new things that needed new paint. I painted so much. And it didn't matter how many times I opened this brown. It looked like chocolate pudding to me. And it was the forbidden chocolate pudding, so I had to go make chocolate pudding. But it was all worth it in the end because the cabinet looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Here's the problem with doing these projects is I started to paint the bottom cabinet, and now I desperately need to paint this upper cabinet so that it matches. But it's a very enclosed space, and I need to paint it without my wig on. So you'll see this again when it's done, okay? Here it is, the finished cabinet. Well, the finished painted cabinet. Now we get to put all of the beautiful wood around it to finish the front of the cabinet. Check it out. I'm actually getting video of this cabinet. Ha ha ha. So last time it was just like, bam, there was bookcase. I haven't done a catch up with you in a while on where we are with this room. So let me just show you. We have our cabinet, which we still need to cut the runner rug for. We have the bookcase, which Dad has put this finishing bar on, and then the bars for the bed are beautiful. We still need to finish up the doors. We're letting the shellac dry on those now. And Dad is finishing up the cabinet. Oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. Okay. Is that going to be all the way out here? Or?
No, it's going to be about flat strippings here.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I have laundry hamper ideas.
Yeah.
That seriously looks like the corner of a library bookshelf. Like an elementary school library or any of the 1950s buildings I went to school in. Just beautiful. Hello, books. Dad solves all problems with pocket holes.
Huh. A fair number of them, they're strong.
This was the ledge to the bottom of the cabinet that's going to hold drywall that we're putting up against it to create kind of a fake wall facade that matches the rest of the walls in my room and the back of the bookcase. So everything's a little bit more cohesive around there. But first, when we put that drywall in, Dad had to cut new holes so we could actually get back into the cabinet. It makes sense. It's just the sound of the saw caused the dogs to sing the songs of their people. So here's a little serenade for you. I'm going to give those barks 10 out of 10, no notes. After a quick coat of paint, it was time to fit the finished edge into the openings of the wall. That's really pretty.
Well, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I like that. So there's trim on this side, and there's going to be trim on this side and the top too.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere there's rough edge.
Nice. Working storage. Okay, Dad's got all of the trims up on this cabinet, and it is so pretty. We just need to make doors now for each of these sections. And now I'm trying to figure out where to store my tripods, because I've got two back behind this and one there. Dad said we can come up with a better solution for this, so at some point. Editor Molly here, checking in from the future. I never figured out a better solution for my tripods, but they do sit in that cabinet really nicely. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now until I come up with something else. In the meantime, Dad worked on finishing up the doors for the cabinet. There was a little bit of a problem with them. I'm going to let Dad explain that.
Okay, so projects like this, they're nothing but problem solving because, you create problems and then you have to solve it, right? So I was cutting the doors. I started with the small ones, did the calculations because there's things you have to do, and they came out perfect. I mean, dead on. I was very happy. I took my happy self, I went and had lunch, and then I came back and I cut the big doors and I screwed them up instantly. So one ended up about a half an inch larger than the other because my calculations were off. The problem was that I don't have enough of the 3/4 stock that I made the doors out of to repair it. So what I had to do, I did have enough for this. I had to take and redo the small doors incorrectly to match the incorrect of the large doors, and there we go, all done.
Honestly, I think Dad's being a little bit nitpicky. You can't tell that the doors aren't completely on center. Basically, what he's saying is one door is slightly bigger than the other door, but since both lines line up, it looks perfect to me. And of course, we put handles onto the doors once they were all hung up. I think these are gorgeous. I found them at Ace Hardware. They were like the cheapest doorknobs I could get, and they've got gorgeous little flowers on them, which is going to be perfect because I have other flower detailing in my room that I absolutely love. Today is the day. I'm telling you, today is the day that we finish the room. I'm so excited about this, obviously, because I didn't put any makeup on. But we are putting, as in Dad, Dad is putting the last doors onto the bed cabinet that I've been showing you. We will do a full walkthrough of everything in here. So we put closet doors up the other day. We finished the cabinet at the foot of the bed. There is storage for my tripods, for all of my Doc Martens, which I have too many of because Dad started to talk about me putting them in other places. But we're not worrying about that right now. Next, we're going to be going through and finding new spots for all of my little knickknacks, okay? I've got half doll head vases. They're a thing from the 50s. I will show you them here. I have lots of little boxes of jewelry. I have jewelry hangers, so all of that needs to go up. And then I have just things that I've collected over the years that I really love, little art pieces, different embroideries that I just am far too emotionally attached for something that I thrifted. All of that needs to go up and find a place on the wall. So we're doing that next. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of this because I really want to do a big reveal at the end of all the decor that ended up going back in my room. In the meantime, have you liked and subscribed? I would love to hang out with you in the future. We've got lots of projects coming up that don't involve completely remodeling my room. Okay, I'm really excited to get to actually work on a craft now for my room. On Temu, I know I try not to order all that much from Temu, but it does happen. On Temu, I ordered some fake plants, some big fake plants, and we are going to set them up because I have a cat who likes to eat everything like it's a salad bar. So we can't have real plants in here, especially since I can never tell if something is going to be toxic for her or not. So I'd rather not risk it. At Dollar Tree, they had these really cute plastic planters, and I loved the color of it, and I filled the bottom of it with some broken up concrete from our backyard. It's going to be a future project. Just trust that we had some broken up concrete in the backyard. And I also got this foam at Dollar Tree that I'm going to use to stabilize the plants. The plant came with 2 of them, and I started putting leaves on this one. And yes, it looks like a plastic plant, but it's going to add some green into my room, and I can't complain about that. So we're going to sit back, fill the bottom of this, and start putting some leaves on plants. Okay, let's do it. Let's try to get a better angle as to what we're doing. We've got our little concrete blocks in the bottom of this bucket. I found these pieces of foam in the back, and I think I'm going to use them to try to even out the surface. See, we can use these little bits of foam to just fill up the bottom of the pot. And the foam's there just to add some weight so that when Bobo's running around my room, he's not going to knock it over all of the time. I made sure that that cushion foam filled the pot fairly tight, and then I hot glued the floral foam onto the cushion foam so that it wouldn't flip out at any point. And then I covered the top of it with decorative packing paper just to disguise all of the different textures. I have a terrible track record when it comes to fake plants. Not fake plants, real plants. Real, water it, living, making oxygen plants. when it comes to inside the house because I tend to kill all of them. Outdoor plants I'm doing much better with. And I put a lot of that off too. I live in Oregon now, and the sky waters them for most of the year. You know, I just have to pay attention in the summertime when I'm outside. If I'm thirsty, the plants are probably thirsty. But when I was living in Arizona, I used to kill cactuses. I didn't realize that my room was too dark for the succulents, so they were always trying to climb to freedom. Or, you know, I would put them outside and forget to water them in the desert, you know, because I never went outside. Why would I go outside? I am the color of ghosts.
With that piece of self-reflection, let's move on to the carpet project.
For our next trick, we have these stairs. Now, I want all of the stairs to be covered without this fold over here. So what we're gonna do is rip this carpet up. I know it is really gross to look at right now, okay? I didn't feel like vacuuming it because I was just gonna get rid of it anyway. We're gonna take this new carpet that I have and cut it to the exact measurements of this and put bias tape on the edge so that it doesn't just shred everywhere.
It's time for mini demolition and rip the carpet up. And then, of course, cut the new carpet down so that we can take it over to the sewing machine, which I got set up in the living room.
We've made it something I feel actually mildly comfortable at. We're going to be taking the edge of those carpet pieces that I cut for my stairs and adding bias tape to them. And I got our strong machine out, the Singer at 319. That's my mom's. And we're going to just sew this bias tape on. Yep, I repeated myself, and that's okay.
This sewing machine made the whole job so much easier. All I did was sew the bias tape to the very front of the carpet right onto the red and then flip it over, sew it to the back. It hid all of the seams and it looks so finished and good. I'm very pleased with how it turned out.
Okay, so you know how I went with a flower motif for my cabinet door handles and this kind of bronzy? Well, I'm doing the same thing on the carpet with the carpet tacks. Very excited to use these, and I did steal a hammer. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to have a hammer, but I do anyway. So now we're gonna go and clean off those stairs to put our completed carpet on. I'm so excited.
These carpet tacks were so easy to use. It was just like a push pin that you would use on a cork board. I pushed them in just a tiny bit and then used the hammer to drive them in the rest of the way to hold that carpet down. And I tried to evenly space out my carpet tacks just so that I wouldn't trip in the middle of the night if I was climbing the stairs. No gaps on this carpet. I have to admit, it is so nice having my space back. That took so much longer than I thought it was going to. 3 months ago, I told one of my friends that it was only going to take maybe 2 weeks to get this project done. I mean, all we were doing was building a loft bed and a bookcase, right? No, it took 3 months. Yes, granted, we did get the flu in the middle of that. But there's always going to be complications when you're working on these projects. My dad's rule of thumb that he told me is always double your time. With that being said, it is so good to have my space back and be completely moved in.
Okay, so we actually did it. We got the room completed. I would like to show you my new cabinet bed. I adore the loft bed. It feels like a little cozy hideaway. It is so comforting. I like small spaces. I know some people really don't like that kind of cave feeling, but I like being up high and being able to see everything from where I am. Bobo loves it. He thinks it is the best. He always climbs up there whenever our other dog comes into the room because he does not like sharing the couch. But that is it. I love these stairs They have so much storage in it. I'm able to put my extra blankets and bedding and things I don't want to even look at, exercise equipment, all of that stuff. It all goes in the stairs. And it just added just that right amount of storage that I needed in this room. There were little things that I learned while we were doing this. Dad actually showed me how to use a table saw. So that's a new and dangerous thing I get to use. I'm going to be using those skills soon, hopefully to make some planter boxes for our front yard, because I would love to get more flowers out there. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I am so happy to have this space more usable, having the couch and the little reading nook and being able to just chill out in my room. I love it. It's the first time ever I've been able to do that. We have lots more projects coming up that I'm very excited about. I'm going to be making a laundry hamper that can hang in this space here, so we get that up off the ground too. And a lot of other little projects. So stick around for that. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video.